Hi, Bob.
Hi, Jeff.
Thanks for being able to spend some time with me today.
My pleasure.
Now, you are a computer programmer, right?
Right.
And you have a degree in math.
Yes.
And as I told you at this Ignite, we are looking into whether spiritual decline is inevitable after you go home from a conference. And I know after talking to you, you have spent some thought thinking about how we spend our time, and I was wondering if you could share some of that with us.
Sure, Jeff. A little while ago, I was concerned about not getting all the things done I wanted to get done, so I looked at what time we had. Every week, we start out with 168 hours. Subtract about 10 a day for things like sleep and eating and basic stuff.
Okay.
If you're a working professional or a student, you even subtract another 55 for work, a little more work, and some commuting.
Uh-huh.
And then we're not really efficient people, so you can subtract another hour a day or so on waste.
Okay.
And when you get to the bottom of it, you got 35 disposable hours a week. That translates into 10 or 11 3-hour segments. Those are the times you get to do what you want to do.
Okay.
That's not much, so if you're going to be efficient and effective, you should be careful what you spend your 3-hour segments on.
Okay, so what you're saying is, out of 168 hours in a week, after you subtract everything, we really have about 35 hours left to really accomplish the important stuff.
Right.
Interesting. So Bob, how do these numbers apply to the Mountaintop and Ignite conferences?
It's interesting. You can apply a similar analysis. You start with 365 days a year. You subtract about 7 if you're here for both conferences.
Okay.
You end up with about 358 days. Actually, this is only 1.8% of your year.
Wow.
This is 98.2% of your year. Spiritual decline happens or not happens here, not here.
Okay, so you're saying if you're someone that goes to both the Mountaintop and Ignite conference, that's only 1.8% of your year.
Right.
And there's 98.2% of our life left over.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So if you come away from the conference, you start with something like 8,000 hours for the rest of your year in this part. You subtract 100 hours for things like being at church meetings.
Okay.
Subtract per week.
Okay.
2 hours per week.
Okay.
Subtract 100 hours per year, 2 hours per week, for things like your youth group.
Okay.
Subtract your youth group, a couple hours a week. Subtract another 100 hours if you're into the Bible,
Okay.
if you're doing prayer, and similar spiritual things like that.
Okay.
And then you have to subtract about 2,700 hours a year for things like sleeping and eating.
Okay.
That leaves you with about 5,000 hours that are at your disposal.
Wow.
And they are 60% of your year. Again, spiritual decline happens here, away from the conference. Spiritual decline happens or doesn't happen with this 60% that's at your disposal.
This is amazing. So you're saying after you subtract church, youth group, reading the Bible, prayer, and sleep, we still have 60% of our life left over where we're in school, we're working, or we're doing other things.
Right.
Wow, that is an amazing number. Anyways, Bob, thanks for spending time with me today.
You're welcome. Jeff, my pleasure.
Thank you.